and Argon emerge. It is truly a beautiful sight. He looks at you, silhouetted by the brightness of everything above. There's a softness to his face that you were unable to see below. His shoulders are dropped, and his arms are not as tensed. So this is up.
This is one of the ups, yeah. Feels lighter here. Bright.
It feels good.
It suits you.
Thank you. Do you still have that feeling of needing to go somewhere?
Flint stops and thinks about it. There's a feeling. Gotta keep going up.
Keep going up.
Yeah.
All right then. There is, amongst this fields, flowers, and they kind of emit this mist that is giving you this euphoric feeling that makes you feel light on your feet, that makes you feel like you're floating. There's not really much aside from other people that you see in this field. Very few and far between, but still here. Some picking up flowers, others taking a moment to lay in the fields, making dents, bending the grass underneath their body.
What is the emotions that Flint is seeing here? Because everything before here was filled with so much despair.
You're seeing bliss. You are seeing happiness, although be it maybe not genuine. A caricature of happiness, I would say. Some people are dancing without a care, giggling and laughing at mere nothingness. Others are lost in deep longing and yearning. Others are enwrapped in each other and or multiple others. All shaded underneath this large tree that emits from the center. And even from the branches of the tree, down comes vines that people have laid themselves in like swings.
So it doesn't quite feel genuine.
Not to you, but Argon, just taking in those feelings. You see him
Flint
get
looks
softer.
Flint looks at Argon, and I think Flint's perception of Argon was this sort of Barton silhouette. But in this light, what does Argon look like?
Argon has dark skin and I would say shoulder length dreadlocks that are kind of twisted and braided together out of his face. You can see that he is a bit scarred. His hands are rough and calloused. His arms are large. He stands tall. He is of a husky build, well fed, but also well worked as well. His clothes are quite tattered, and his face surprisingly gentle.
Where Flint is looking at Argon and trying to make sense of that gentleness with the violence to which Flint met him.
Yeah. And he still wears those stains on his skin and on his clothing. It has been so long since I have not felt threatened or a need to guard. I never thought that I would leave there.
You were protecting yourself.
I fear that maybe I was fighting for something I could not alone achieve. And in that, I've done a great deal of pain to others. Seeing Orin fall has changed my perspective. You have changed my perspective. I fear as though maybe I did not need to kill in the name of a god who never had my best interests at hand. But I have seen something in you, something divine.
And upon hearing those words, Flint feels that touch, that red haze of dishonesty, of wanting to speak in response, of letting Argon know there's nothing divine about me. But they hold it in. They don't quite say that. They don't speak, they don't respond. Just so that they can stop themselves from saying something that Argon doesn't need to hear right now.
I will follow you.
If that is what you wish, let's see if we can find our way around here.
As you both wander underneath this tree, it is ever more apparent where you are, the Garden of Lust. You know not of the name you wish to see, or the god whose favor you seek. But in this place that threatens to just kind of swallow everything you've known, it doesn't feel threatening like Orin,
Mm-hmm.
but instead dangerously intoxicating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In a similar fashion with Oren's domain, I think Flint is walking, feeling this earth, um, this garden beneath their feet, and allowing them to walk in where they see the path, however that path materializes itself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but this time, their eyes do feel sort of this curiosity, this to remain watching as these individuals, you know, these caricatures of happiness are in the process of existing.
Yeah. And along walking this path, you see a river. You see many trees, those with baskets collecting things like fruits and vegetation, and these pure waters, all to place in these woven baskets to give as an offering to this god. You see that there are many beautiful people here, all of them doing their best to look as nice as possible, to present themselves as nice as possible, braiding flowers into their hair, taking strawberries, cutting them in half, and rubbing them onto their necks and their chests, softening their skins with butters made from like soft milk. You see many goats in fields eating together as others take the fruits of their labor. It almost feels like the perfect existence of man and nature.
Um, are there any souls, any people around at a close distance? Anyone that they can come across?
Yeah, you see a woman who is stark, um, kind of in a field, in the field, and around her, contrasted to everything else, are wilted flowers.
Hello, you there?
You see her wipe tears from her eyes. You can see me.
Yeah, and looks over at Argon. It's like you can see her too, right?
Argon can't. He's puzzled at who you were speaking to.
Oh, and then what does she look like?
She has long black hair.
She has long
Her
black hair.
skin is quite pale.
Her skin is
Um,
pale.
she seems very frail.
She seems frail. She's surrounded by wilted flowers.
And Argon immediately asks, "Is she beautiful?"
Flint looks at her.
And she looks back to you, her eyes glossed over and white.
She's just as beautiful as the rest of this place.
And as you say that, her face the corners of her mouth kind of curl up into a slight smile. I'm sorry, I am not at my best right now.
So, what's your name?
Elira.
Elira. Nice to meet you, Elira. I'm Flint. This is Argon.
Flint and Argon. And Argon just kind of like waves, not really knowing where to wave to.
Why are you crying?
I have lost that which belongs to me. My lover.
Oh.
Gone to visit Zane in the palace of Eden, only to not return.
Were you hoping that they return?
And she nods her head yes.
Why can't you go too?
I am not wanted.
You're not wanted.
Everything I touch dies.
Flint extends a hand out to her. Well, let's put it to the test.
She looks afraid to touch you. She reaches a hand out, and as her fingertips touch yours, there is almost a withering that starts to happen. Your fingertips wrinkle ever so slightly. And then she pulls her hand away. And your skin is as smooth as a baby's bottom.
Oh, you're telling the truth. What happened to you? Were you cursed?
And she nods her head yes.
Why?
Gods are spiteful beings.
You're not wrong.
Anya, my love, soft and delicate, untouched by this garden of lust, wanted only me. That is not the rules of this place.
But she hasn't come back.
No.
How do you
She's
know?
gone.
How do you know if she hasn't come back to tell you that she wants something else? How do you know she doesn't still want you?
Not many things come back from the palace. It is why we leave things at its doorstep. To be accepted
So,
in is to be considered consumed. To be picked apart thread by thread down to your core, like the sweetest of apples. Have you ever had someone know you inside and out?
and Flint stops and thinks. I think I had someone special, but not the way that you're describing it.
And as you say that, Flint, you are suddenly reminded you are smaller and you are in a home. It is ugly and wretched, but there is love here. There is a woman, beautiful, with dark hair strands covering her face, a little messy. But those curls are full of love as they brush against your face, her hands on your stomach tickling you. You are feeling joy, you are feeling laughter. A kiss is placed on your forehead, and you are safe. And then you feel pain. Not physical, but inside. That is something you will never get back. And you have realized all too late what you had.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever had something like that. And it's that dishonesty, that curse.
Yeah, and as you say that, um, you can feel Argon's hand on your back, trying to comfort you.
I think Flint rolls her shoulders back, looks at Argon, really looks at him. And then takes a step forward to try and create a space between them once again.
Yeah.
Well, I think my question still stands. What makes you believe that you're not wanted anymore by your love if they can't be here to tell you?
Because all that I have left are these. And there's old paper crumpled in her hands as she releases her grip. Letters in sloppy writing, barely being able to be made out, as she's not the best at spelling or reading. But there is love in these letters. And next to these crumpled letters, next to where she sits, is a basket of withered fruits.
So it's memory. And isn't it a good thing that you were able to feel this?
Not when I know that these memories are what she has given up. I fear so. If we were to see each other again, she wouldn't know me from another maiden on the street.
And you'd rather not try? You're just giving up?
I have no way into the palace, and no one see me to let me enter.
Well, if it's anything's the same as the last 2 levels, I think, looks over at Argon, we probably have a conversation to have with a god.
Are you sure you want to do that after last time you were eaten?
Yeah, that's true, I was. Maybe we'll take it a little bit more slower this time around. I mean, it is nice here. I wouldn't hate sticking around for a bit.
Yeah, there's something nice about it.
Lots to do. I'm kind of... And Flint looks over at Elira. Is there a way to make you visible?
And she thinks for a moment.
Okay. Not sure. Let's see. And I think Flint is going to grab the piece of the glass and then lift it up to her face and reflect it.
Only 2d6.
Yeah.
And do
it's
you
going
want to use a move?
I think... Let me see. Yeah, I want to pray for guidance. I want to try and essentially with the use of the glass, a sort of facet of the realm of Magnus where appearances and it was such a big part of who Magnus was. They're essentially going to not beseech. Pray is such a there's something about the way that Flint lives their life, the way that they live this life of whatever life might be, but the way that they take up space is in a very sort of nonchalant, aimless kind of way. They have their direction of where they're going, but they have such a miasma-like way of interacting with people. And the way that they pray isn't really how we would know prayer to be, but they lift the glass up to Elira, and then they look at themselves in the reflection and look beyond that reflection of their own at Elira's face.
Yeah.
And then just speaks, "There you are. Hello."
As you do, give me your roll.
Yeah. So praying for guidance. I rolled a 5. I don't think pray for guidance has any rolls, but still, that was still a 5.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, the roll was for me.
I see.
As you pray for guidance, you see Elira look into the glass, and you can't see, but you sense that someone else is there. As she is nodding her head, agreeing with something that someone is saying. she is touching different parts of her face. She's moving her hair out of the way. And you can see the small indent of her cheek press in, as if someone has given her a kiss. And she looks up to you and says, "There I am."
There you are.
There you are. As
Oh,
Argon
yeah.
is looking directly at her.
So, what do you think, Argon? Is she beautiful?
Absolutely. Here. And he kind of takes the shirt off of his back and gives it to her. As she kind of dons it. It's very big on her. Very well. Here. And she kind of empties out like dead flowers and fruits and gives you her basket.
Thanks. What's this for?
We need to get gifts
Oh,
if we wish to seek audience.
okay. Question. Are we going to have to fight for the gifts, or can we just...
This is just getting them. You don't have to fight anyone for anything.
Oh.
In fact, you could barter for them as well.
Oh, I see. Nice. So, looks over to Argon. Aren't you glad we don't have to kill anybody for it?
It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah. And I think they walked down this Wizard of Oz-esque like group of this trio of individuals.
Yeah.
Dorothy, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
But I think with Flint, Flint will stand to one of Alara's sides, and then allow Argon to be to her other side, so that we're bracketing her.
Yeah.
And Flint's looking at her with like curiosity and just, so what is there to do around here? What do you... I know you were sad, but it seems like most people look somewhat happy.
Because most engage in the company of others.
Good to have friends.
Well, friends of sorts, yes.
Sorts. What other kind of friends are there?
Most people here engage in a more freeing kind of friendship. One with no strings, I should say. Everyone is free to love, and everyone loves to love.
Okay, I think I'm understanding now what the issue is with Anya. She only loved you.
As she nods her head, yes.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there? But would that have been a bad thing? She was still loving. She was still providing this place.
It is selfish of one to give all of themselves to another. When we exist to give things to our gods, to not wish to seek perfection, is against mere everything we are supposedly created for. Since birth, we are told to mold ourselves and be molded by the gods for their perfect beings. But Anya didn't need that. We were already perfect for each other. And Zane hated that.
Fish. You're right. Not Anya. Zane.
Oh, but here's the thing, he's not. He wishes for everyone to feel how much they are loved.
So then, if he wishes for everyone to feel how much they are loved, why did he have a problem with you being loved?
And she thinks for a moment. Maybe gods don't take rejection too well. He feeds on beautiful things. And if he is fed, then we are fed, as the fruits of the tree will continue to fall. It is a cycle.
Okay. Well, if he is to be fed, then let's try and find him a snack.
Yeah, and give me 2d6 to see how well your foraging goes.
Yeah. Ooh. That's a 6 and a 3, a 9. 9.
Yeah, you were able to find a sufficient amount of things. You find a grape, you find very juicy apples. You were able to find spot in the creek where water flows clear and crystalline. You're able to even get a couple of small berries. A nice collection of things. There are women who are welcome to give you the goat's milk that they have spent time creating just because you are a beautiful stranger.
Flint accepts all these things and accepts them with a nonchalant thank you. There's never a moment of discomfort in the presence of individuals that are like staring at them. I think it's more so when there's a specific focus on the flame. Specific focus, not just on their appearance, but what is beyond that. That's where the discomfort sort of lies.
Yeah.
Because once again, it doesn't seem honest. But they do end up while they're at the creek with Argon and Elira. I think they take a moment to look at their reflection and watch Elira and Argon and splash water in their direction just to see what they do.
Yeah, and as you do, Argon kind of takes both his arms and kind of makes this big wave back at you while Elira kind of tries to like shield herself from the water. You get that feeling of joy. Again, a lot of the way you've been going throughout this world has been quite stone-faced and very flat. But in this moment, you feel genuine giddiness. and childlike wonder.
Yeah. And they stare and like this with the smell of the freshness, sage, lavender, honeysuckle, just all of these different scents of this garden surrounding them. They stare at Argon and Elira in a moment of just truly watching them. Once again, they hadn't really noticed who Argon was up until getting to this level, and coming across this beautiful, almost not imperfect, but imperfect to this place because of her tears, because of her sadness, of that moment of honesty, of not a caricature of happiness. There is beautiful feeling just watching the two of them.
Yeah, and you all are drawing other people too. Other people who enjoy seeing this genuine happiness, and it spreads. It is contagious. The laughter is no longer fake and gregarious, but soft and kind and welcoming. People just eager to share and see one another. People who are happy to see you, not the flame, not Flint, but you, beyond Flint. Seeing you, Angie, enjoy this world. Tell me of a time you felt in love.
This is hard. I think the moments, more not so much a time, but moments where I feel the most love is when I am sought after, when I am asked for help. I think those are the moments where I know that there has to be a certain level of trust and love for someone to reach out and say, hey, I love you. And I want you here with me for this.
Yeah. And Flint, you can feel that. You can feel all of these people quietly depending on you. Not outright asking you for help, seeing you as hope. Not a flame, but hope.
Oh, we're gathering a crowd. Oh, okay. Wasn't really banking on this right now. Is this common, Elira?
And as you ask Elira, you can see people can see her. People can notice her. People are braiding her hair, and people are interacting and speaking with her. She seems so delighted to be noticed.
Argon right now.
He's looking at you. Staring, actually. Dumbfounded. Sorry. It is rude to stare.
I don't think it's rude here.
Yeah, this Yeah.
She looks happy. Genuinely happy.
Yeah.
And Flint will walk up to Elira, like sort of like crouch down where she is. It's like, hey,
Hi.
think we have plenty to, offer. And you seem happy right now. You seem loved. So, you don't have to keep coming with us.
Yeah.
If we...
I think I'll be okay here. And
Yeah,
I think you'll do great.
thanks. Also, I think it's okay to be sad over the things that one loses. But I think the best part of it is that you'll always find it again.
Now that I know there are people like you in the world, I shall never fear being unloved again.
But if we do see Anya, is there anything you'd want us to tell her?
Tell her that someone loves her very much, even if she can't remember them. They love her so much.
I will.
And she reaches her hand out for your hand.
Remembering that curse and the way it was debilitating Flint, the way that it was eating Flint, there's a moment of hesitation. But then they do take her hand.
Yeah, and you're fine. That heaviness that surrounded her is all but a small feeling. Not that the grief went away, that she's grown around it and has built something new from it. She kisses your hand.
Flint moves forward and kisses her lips.
And she's caught off guard for a second and leans in. Go show that God what real love is.
It was lovely to meet you, Lara.
I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
And look back at Argon. You're still with me?
Till the end.
And they'll continue forward down the path the moment it materializes. Again, it's this sort of in between, this liminal space of, is there a path? There is a path. I'm following it, even if it might not seem that way.
Yeah. And as you press forward, it is almost as if the grass bends for you before you put your foot down. The more determined you are to continue this path, the more the will of this land bends to you. It is bending to the will, not of or of a god, godling, god-like being. You're unsure, but you do have influence. Walking up to this large tree, seeing it from far off, the trunk seemed but a toothpick in the distance, but now is wide and cavernous. There is a canopy of vines that hang down. There is a collection of people kind of draped around the opening, laying there, some asleep, others just relaxed, huddling and coddling one another. And baskets strewn across the front of this opening. There's nothing stopping you from going inside.
Yeah. I think they're just going to keep walking. Keep walking in.
Yeah, and as you do, many stop to see you and Argon just enter. There's a small little step as you get in, and the bottom of this tree is a pool of water covered in lily pads and lotuses, so thick that you can barely see the bottom, but you only sink about waist deep. The water is warm, as if there are stones giving it this feeling of comfort, almost like, I'd say, like a warm pool. Upon the mirage of lily pads, you see them move ever so slightly as a man pokes his head ever so slightly above the water.
Is Argon there with me as well in the lily pad?
Mm-hmm.
Lily pad pool?
Yeah. The water only comes up to like his hips.
Yeah. It's not this, there's no there's nothing that's like separating us though, right? Nothing is forcing us apart.
No.
Okay. But knowing just what this is and what this and and what they've learned from Elira, that sort of like feeling and power of taking you know, not unlike Oren, I think in a moment of impulsivity, Flint is going to extend a hand out to Argon just to hold it, just to make sure that he's still there.
Yeah. And he takes it, kind of assuredly, almost like kind of holding on to you as if he were to let go, he would drown in this water.
Yeah. And then when they see this head peek out from the water, I'd like to recognize a god.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. Go ahead. And
Oop. Nope, I didn't mean to. Ah. Okay.
so you get a +1 because you are in their domain.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It wouldn't be bad if you didn't know. And are you familiar with their gospel?
I think they've spent, from what they learned with Elira, I think Flint would be familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Go ahead and give me that roll.
Yeah, so I did roll. It was an 8 plus 2, I'm assuming?
So is that an overkill?
It's a 10, yes.
As you do, you recognize this being, and they
Zane,
do not
I presume?
seem, yeah, they don't seem super welcoming to you.
Oh,
They feel almost threatened a little bit and are in a fit of trying to outdo your divineness emerges from the water. You see that they have the top half of a man and the body of a lion, almost like a chimera. He now sits above you, taller than you. You puzzle yourself in your mind as to how the rest of him was hidden under the water. He is so large. Speak.
sorry, I'm just surprised.
As am I.
Yeah. And the two before you, they were beautiful, but you're very beautiful.
Thank you. He kind of climbs up upon some of these big roots, almost like how jaguars
Mm-hmm.
do, getting comfortable, dipping one paw in the water, kind of swirling it, sending the lily pads kind of rippling. You and your companion are beautiful as well.
Flint looks back at Argon. Is Argon staring at Zane still, or?
Yeah, the grip tightening,
Mm-hmm.
almost pulling you to him
Mm.
as Zane says that.
Well, thank you for that as well. Unfortunately, we cannot stay. We're trying to go up.
Why would you ever do that when such a place as this exists? I've worked hard to make my domain beautiful.
It is. Just because I have to go up doesn't change that.
And what do you seek up that's more important than what is happening now?
Someone.
When you say someone, his eyes narrow.
Think it's someone who loved me.
Wouldn't you rather stay somewhere you know you are loved than to chase an inkling of it? I am only trying to protect you from heartbreak. I sense you've been through great pain. I can take that away from you.
Protect Elira from heartbreak.
As you say that, he thinks for a moment. He does not know this person you speak of. There is something stopping him from seeing them.
I want to trust that you could, but what makes you believe that you can protect me from heartbreak? That's also an inkling.
Because so long as you are here, I will make sure you know wanting no more. You are something beautiful, something to behold.
But I want to find that person, and I won't be able to do it here. I won't be able to do it if I'm still here. Wouldn't you want to honor the wants of people?
I'm merely trying to protect you. You know not of the road ahead.
Yeah, Magnus said the same thing.
Magnus is small, immature, powerless.
But he said the
Not like
same
I.
thing you said. Size doesn't matter.
I beg to differ.
I appreciate what you're trying to do. You're sharing, you're wanting to provide, to have people love and be loved. I think that's a wonderful and beautiful thing. But you can't do that for everybody. And I saw it. You probably didn't see it because you have so many people already that you are doing this for. You're probably missing the moments where it falls short.
And if I were to tell you, you would die on your next leg of your journey, would you stay?
Do you know
Are
that
you
for a
able to
fact?
sacrifice failure for the wanting of a loved one you know not how far until you reach, when you have someone willing to love you right here? And I do not mean me.
Flint looks back at Argon.
Argon looks scared for you. We could stay here. We don't have to keep going, Flint.
On your resilience. Is that what you would give up?
I have found something more important than my resilience. It is not a pile of garbage that I wish to protect anymore. It is you. I saw what Orin did, and it scared the shit out of me. Maybe next time you won't be so lucky.
I'm sorry, Argon, but you're not who I'm searching for. And I'm willing to make space for you. But not at the expense of what I am searching for.
And as you two are having this conversation, Zane looks between you two. And what if this revelation is waiting for you, the top of where you aim to reach? That what you are searching so long for does not wish to have you. Have you considered the fact that maybe they left on purpose? That they had succumbed because there was nothing around worth staying for? That being made perfect was more important than caring for you, Flint.
Well, I won't know until I ask them.
Oh, but many of us have asked. So many times, Flint. Was your mother almost made perfect by me, or
Mother.
Magnus, or Orin? And in the end, she gave herself to sloth.
My mother. That's who I'm searching for. Thank you. Thank you. Yes,
And
I have to find her.
as that realization happens, there's a new feeling. You can't name it yet, but this too ignites something. Rather than that blue flame you usually feel, it is of a brighter hue, a pink, a passion. If you do not wish to stay with me, then I fear I must feed you to my garden. Your passion should be filling enough. And Zane kind of dips down into the water beneath the lily pads, and you cannot see them anymore.
Flint looks back at Argon and looks around the lily pads, holds onto Argon's hand tightly, and then pulls out the shard once again
Do you want to do something?
I think. Ooh. Hmm. Oh my god. Okay. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to think. I want to tempt fate.
Yeah.
I think they're going to look at Argon and say, I cannot stay here. And if you want to protect me, then you have to come with me.
He unsheaths his pickaxe. Very well.
And then with their hand clasped tightly with Argon's, they are going to the water. They're going to dip down below.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me 2d6.
Yeah.
A skilled ally is lending you a hand, so that's a +1.
Yeah.
You technically have no other options because the
Yeah.
other option is to turn around.
Yes.
But you are not far from any god that wishes you harm.
Yeah.
So that's just a
It's like,
+2.
no, Zane, you're so sexy. Don't wish me
You're so
harm.
sexy. Yeah.
So that was 7 on the dice and then +2, so 9.
Yeah. So you dip below the water, and it is almost as if the ground you were standing on is completely gone, and you are floating in this deep kind of ocean
Mm-hmm.
um, of a room. You can see the you can see the slightest kind of sliver of something in the darkness moving. You can see uh, like repairs of lion legs kicking and swimming, ending in a long kind of serpentine tail. Whatever Zane was above water is completely different underneath
Mm-hmm.
this pool. You are holding your breath until you can't any longer. And when you let out a breath, you realize that you do not need to breathe at all.
Mm-hmm.
Still holding your hand, Argon kind of swims down. You can see Zane is kind of circling the both of you. Trying to pick a ideal time to strike.
Mm-hmm. So quick question, because I
Mhm.
know with killing Oren, I would have gained a power, right?
Yeah.
What was the power?
Power of misdirection.
Power of misdirection?
Mhm.
Oh. Okay. So the misdirection, essentially the lie,
Mhm.
the power to. Got it. I think as we are in this space being surrounded by this creature that is Zane, um, Flint, with this warmth, what they're going to try and do is to suppress the warmth, their fire. They're going to try and dim it.
Yeah. So that'll be a wield of power roll.
Yeah. And the focus is, this is what you do to me. You dim my light by controlling who I should and should not love. And it's a lie. It's misdirection. Because there's a part of Flint that wants to remain here. That they're right. Zane is not wrong. Zane is not lying. Everything they've said, although it's all abstract, is all inklings, right? They don't know if they're correct because it's all, it's all in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But he makes all the sense in the world. But they know that they can't stop here.
Yeah. So with your questions, you've done this act before perfectly. No, this is your first time doing it.
Yeah.
You're desperate for this to work. Why N?
Yeah.
Go ahead and mark a strain.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I have 4 strain.
Yeah. You're close to a shrine layer or domain of the god you took this power from. No.
No.
So go ahead and roll me 2d6. And
Plus
only
1.
had 1. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. 7 on the dice, plus 1. 8.
8. Ooh, love it. So yeah, you are able to dim that light and convey to Zane that this is what they do, that if you are to stay here, you will no longer retain that desirability that all of these gods have wanted from you.
This isn't love.
But I am made of love, and I can remake you.
I won't be the same.
But you will be mine.
What's the point?
And when you say that, there is a silence in your mind. Hunger.
Hunger.
As you say hunger, you feel a bit of what Orin felt, that greed, sink into you a little bit. It is ironic, almost.
Yeah.
It's the only word that you can think of to compare the situation that you are in right now. Hitting your goals against Zane's goals. Which one of you is more righteous? In the eyes of Zane, you are a villain, someone going against everything that these gods stand for, everything that some people pray for. People would love to be in the position that you are in right now. Some wish to be consumed by this god, by any god, to be chosen by any god, to lay their eyes on any god. You have seen 3 so far and have threatened and challenged and broken the things they stand for. This sacrificing of yourself and everything you've known, creating this pit in your stomach that feels so desperately to be filled by something you did not know had a name until you uttered the words, Mother. Zane feeling that light, that flame in you, dim attempts to reach for it, just as it is fleeting. I'll give you a choice.
Okay.
Zane can grab you,
Mm-hmm.
and you will take a strain.
Another one.
Or Zane will miss you and grab Argon,
Gone.
who will most likely not survive the blow.
Hmm. I'm going to let Zane hit me and suffer my 5th strain.
As that light, that warmth dims, you can feel Argon hold close to you, attempting to pull you out of the way, but it is too late
Mm-hmm.
as that paw kind of scratches across your chest. That what's little left of that flame almost dying.
Mm-hmm.
Do you succumb or do you persevere?
I persevere. They're not stopping. They refuse to stop.
Roll
They
me,
have the word mother, and they need to find their mother.
yeah, roll me a 2d6.
Oh. There we go. Just straight up 2d6.
Yeah,
Nothing to add.
you get to
Yeah.
add one because there is something you desperately desire, which is your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
All right. That is a 2.
you're joking.
So a 3 total.
No!
Yeah.
As that flame goes and your eyes cloud, the last thing you feel is Argon pulling you closer. Clear 1 strain. What is a memory Flint would think of as they are dying?
I think what they're thinking of in this moment is Argon, telling them they could stay here.
You wake up and you are in a bed. It is soft and plush, your head on a pillow. On the wall in front of you, mounted up, you can see a pickaxe and a shard of glass with it. This home is cozy. It is warm. On your bedside, you can smell fresh porridge, still hot, with the steam coming off of it. And you can hear homemakings in another room.
Flint looks around, looks at their hands and at themselves, and just gets up.
Yeah, as you get up, you're fine. There are no scars or marks or bruises, no cuts on your hand from clenching the glass, no scratch on your chest from being ripped open.
A dream? Felt so real. And they walk out of the room.
You can see Argon in the kitchen, cleaning dishes. You're up. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I'm sorry. I slept in.
It's fine. You had a fever last night, so
Oh,
I figured I wouldn't wake you up and let you sleep it off.
yeah. Yeah, a fever. I remember that. They don't. It's a lie.
As you look outside, you can see that it is pretty. You see that field. You're in a home on top of a hill where you can see things, that big tree looming over you. You get a sense of dread when you look at it, though.
I'm sorry. I don't feel myself today. There's a Are there any news? Is there anything new?
Not for a while. Although I let Elira know of your illness, and her and Anya have decided to postpone their ceremony until you felt better.
Oh. Okay. They didn't have to do that. Their ceremony? I'm so sorry. What ceremony again?
They're becoming a union.
They're becoming a union. Why? Why again? Why is that necessary?
Well, do you not remember when we became a union?
You and me.
Remember we decided to stay here. We decided we wouldn't fight anymore. We wouldn't chance it. We would just live here in the moment.
Looking for someone. Do I remember who I was looking for
Roll me
in this moment?
2d6.
An 8.
When you say I was looking for someone, the sky turns gray.
I was looking for someone.
You say it
Argon.
again, and the flowers outside begin to wither.
Why are you keeping me here? Why are you stopping me?
I'm protecting you.
No, you're not. You're not protecting me. You're protecting yourself, your emotions. And uh, Flint is
I'm
going to.
doing what's best for us. And at that moment, it is not Argon's voice. It is Zane's coming from Argon's body.
Is that your decision to make?
Flint, you do not have to suffer here. I assure you, this place that I have made for you is better than any reality you will see beyond these walls.
But that's not my choice.
And as you say that again, the walls of the house begin to crack and shake.
That's not my choice. This isn't love. This isn't safety. When I can't be myself
And
and search for my search for my. I'm searching for my.
as you say this, the illusion that is built around you begins to break down. Argon's form starts to shift as his lower half kind of grows those lion-esque features, and it is Zane now prowling towards you. That piece of glass now formed in your hands. And this moment, he is looming ever closer to you. I am safety. I am protection. I am love.
I don't believe you. I know
As
a
you,
liar when I see one.
as you say that, this illusion shatters. You open your eyes. You gasp. You are underwater, covered in algae and vines that threaten to keep you pinned beneath all of this. And Zane floating down to you. That piece of glass is still in your hand.
Hmm. Where is Argon?
You can see just a figure floating up at the top, not moving.
Mhm. I. Oh.
Zane lands for you, both paws on opposite sides. You will become part of this garden. What would you like to do?
I want to act impulsively.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Oh. I feel like at this point they've wielded their misdirection. Um, let's see. Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
There are no wrong answers here.
I know.
And you do
There's
have your glass shard.
I do have my glass shard. I think Flint is willing to continue sacrificing themselves and fighting against Zane and Zane's influence until, even if it means being worked over and over and over in a timeless loop of waking up in this place of comfort and figuring out that it's not right. I think Flint is willing to continue fighting for it.
Can you seize an advantage? Or do you know what trouble hits you hard and fast?
I want to seize an advantage and stab myself through the chest with the shard.
And as you do, stabbing yourself, you see Zane mirror the same action, as if you two are tied together, and as you rip into your chest.
I want to let the water flow in to
Yeah,
try and through Zane's own domain and their own influence and power. It's no longer misdirection. It's no longer a willing dimness of it. This is what Zane is doing to Flint. They stab through with the shard, they break down, and the feeling of breaking through the sternum, breaking down the ribs, like all the way down, allowing this water to just flow in and fill them up. This love, or this idea of love. This isn't love. This isn't safety. I am dying because
as you do this, Zane reveals his true form, cutting himself open as well, that vulnerability being mirrored from Flint to Zane, tearing from this lion form is a man with a large form, long hair, and a beard made of flower petals that bloom on his face. He has a strong build. He has rough and jagged edges. This love is harsh. This love is overpowering. As you allow that water in. He is intoxicated by it, by the amount of yourself you are allowing him to have. He is willing to consume every last bit of you. And in that, he has left himself vulnerable. You have a chance to end this.
See. I would this count as something personal or valuable to a god?
I would say valuable, yeah.
I think there's the mortal trigger then. So when you sacrifice something personal or valuable to a god, clear all strain.
Yeah.
And in that moment of both releasing themselves from this body, allowing that love to flow in, a love that is not consented upon. There comes again, I feel, the memory of their mother, that hair tickling at their forehead, the kiss they're holding, the feeling of warmth of what true love is, not a caricature, not something that is forced upon. And I also want to manifest a miracle.
Yeah.
By giving up my cause pain power. Because they've seen what it does. This is pain in another way. But there's something so much more painful about what is brought upon with love, with the lie of what love is supposed to be.
How do you channel pain into the world of lust?
In this moment, when there's no longer that flame within them, but there's still that spark, as they take all of the water in this pool into their body. They drain away everything until Flint's gray body is standing in an empty pool with this creature, with this entity of love and lost. And there's a pause, there's a moment where this is it. There's nothing left. But then the spark hits. And Flint's body is encapsulated by fire once again. And this fire releases as a wave, a heat wave, throughout this safe and beautiful and fresh land. And every single individual who lives here, who feels that love, who is experiencing emotions of elation, of calmness, all of that goes away instantly.
And you
And
can hear those. You can hear those people. You can hear as that blissful silence turns into moans and cries of people feeling the full brunt of the things that they have lost, what they have given up, what they are willing to put up with, how they were blind, how they feel deceived, how they feel lied to, how they feel abandoned, how they feel godless. And they all blame you.
I don't need to be loved. I just want to find my mother.
So what will you do? Will you kill? Or will you spare this god?
Hmm. It's always the hardest choice. There's a moment where Flint knows that Zane isn't inherently bad. I think there was badness in Oren and forcing people to be emaciated and to be without just for her own comfort and for to be comfortable in what she wanted. And although there is safety and comfort for everyone, not just for Zane here, when Flint thinks of Ilaria and how you are beaten into loneliness. And I think Flint is going to kill Zane. And I say I think because there's that hesitation. With the shard in their hand. And their body broken. They amble closer. And what does Zane look like right now? Is it the same, just a half man, half lion body, or is it more?
He is man in itself, just as you are. Covered in flowers, all blooming to their fullest, full and drunk off of you.
Not with the shard, but with the flame. Flint will touch Zane's face that beard of flowers. And in silence, just allow the fire to take it.
Roll me that 2d6.
12. 6 and a 6.
As you place your hand upon Zane's face, the spark starts small, and the flame starts small, and he ignites, he screams. And you are the cause of this. Although you hesitated, ultimately you carried it out. You are killing yet another god. And as his body sets ablaze, no water to put the fire out, it spreads up the vines from this pool. This tree catches fire, the red hue surrounding you. Argon on the floor, not far away, his eyes just opening, seeing as the embers fall down onto his face and onto your shoulders. They cover you in ashes.
Flint will pull Zane close to them, and very much like Ilaria, will press their lips to his.
And you feel Zane's arms weakly dig their nails into your back. I only wanted to protect you from what is to come.
I can protect myself.
But you will not keep all of yourself. He turns to ashes in your hands as you are left with a burn scar up your cheek.
Does it hurt?
Intensely.
They turn around and they try and find Argon.
Argon is kind of leaned up on his elbows, looking up to the sky as this large tree burns. The leaves falling down over parts of this domain. The ashes blowing on the wind as you hear the cries of people outside. You've changed this place forever.
They climb up from the pool, the empty pool, and walk to Argon and stare up to where he's also staring. I understand if this has changed your perception of me.
No. You've seen me at my worst, and you've still chosen to take me in. And I will not cast you out. I will make sure you find your mother.
Thank you.
As the top of the tree burns, you can see a pathway up. The flames do not hurt you, though. They almost retract from you.
Yeah. Before we go, the people that were sleeping, that were resting, I think Flint wants to try and find Anya.
It's not hard. As you leave through that same kind of vine entrance now, half burned, Anya, the only one not crying, but instead facilitating a safe space for these people to feel things. The brunt of all of their emotions coming back is overwhelming.
Is your name Anya?
Yes. As she kind of looks at you, very scared.
I think love can start with you again. And you can find it by the river.
The river. She nods her head yes, and kind of grabs the hands of a few people around her and starts to guide them towards the river.
I hope they find each other.
Yeah.
I believe they will find each other.
If they fell in love once, I have no doubt they can do it again.
Yeah. Let's go then, you and me.
Lead the way.
I think this time Flint is going to grab Argon's hand again. And they'll make the climb up, hand in hand.
Yeah. And those flames bend away from you both, clearing away when you reach the tops of the tree just before climbing the vines into the next ring. Looking down at the Garden of Lust, it is burning. A pink flame of passion. And then you ascend.
There's that moment of watching that fire and thinking about Ilaria and Anya, the loss that they experienced with Ilaria, but knowing very much the same as themselves that the fire can be put out. But with just a little bit of perseverance, with just a little bit of resiliency, that spark will always start again. There's always a little bit of space for love, even after it burns away.
And as you two go further into the darkness, just a faint glow comes from you, lighting your way. And that's where we end.